What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm MoeDotJ and we are locked in. This is the recap for Griselda on Netflix, episode 3 out of a 6-part series. Now, things are starting to heat up and this is the halfway point. And we seen that they took out Fernando and we also got Dario on the team now. So Griselda, it looks like it's on the up and up and she potentially has a chance to take over all of Miami. Now, before we jump into this and get a recap, if you like breakdowns of shows, especially this Griselda series, to hit your subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. I'm on that road to 50,000 subscribers and I appreciate each and every one. Now, back to business. Griselda is trying to make a name for herself. She's about to become the official godmother of cocaine here in the United States of America. So let's jump into it. This is the recap of Griselda, episode 3. There's a time jump in episode 3 of roughly 3 months. And when it first comes on, we see them at the golf club and, well, one of the people that's slaying for Griselda gets attacked. Now, this is where things start to get a little ugly because they don't want Griselda selling her designer drugs in designer places because they're making more money than the competition. As you can see back at the compound, Griselda is living nice. The girls, money, enjoying life. Everyone is getting money now. But unfortunately, there was an attack on one of Griselda's workers, and this is where things are going to take a little shift because the organization has to deal with this because retaliation is a must, especially when you're in the coke game. Danny, the gentleman that was assaulted, gives out tennis lessons. His hand is broke, and this all came from Papo. Papo sent somebody over here to try to damage everything that Griselda got going on, and Danny wants this taken care of. So this is putting a little battery in Griselda's back to figure out how is she going to be able to accomplish this. June and the police department are investigating the murder. And if you know anything about Miami around this time, murders, bodies, every single day was something happening. Now, there was a witness that first said he didn't see anything. He witnessed who it was, but he slips up and he says the name El Loco, which is the nickname of Amilcar. And he's like, well, El Loco, he did such and such and put his hands on the hood. So June, she's already been doing her own investigation behind the scene when it came to Griselda and a woman being involved. Now she has some more information to start looking into El Loco, aka Amilcar. It turns out that Dario, after joining up with Griselda, they've been sleeping around with each other. And he's mentioning that back at home in Colombia, people are starting to get aware of a woman moving work inside of Miami, and they're calling her the godmother. That's that's our girl Griselda, the godmother. And she's like, listen, I don't want anyone calling me that. So tell them to stop that. And that's a myth. And you stay watching over Danny because she doesn't want Papo or anyone to come and affect her business. Griselda gets word that Rafi wants to potentially buy her out of her business. Now he owns a private island and she flies out there. These islands are pit stops in between Colombia and the States. You fly to Coca here, you have your own island, you can refill, you can store it here, and then you can just go straight to the States, a direct flight. Now, when he gets here, he's telling Griselda, you guys have a nice operation, but I'm willing to buy you out for $15 million USD cash. Now, German, he wants to do it, but Griselda hears this deal, and she doesn't want anything to do with this deal because if he's offering 15, then that means it's worth at least 150. Rafi and the Ocho brothers, they aren't playing around. They are big timers. And for Griselda to tell them no to a $15 million buyout, it has them looking at her sideways. Now, German, he wanted to be part of this $15 million buyout, so he would have nothing else to do with the dope game and be able to ride off into the sunset. But Griselda convinces him on the flight back, I'll give you 25% of anything I make. So if she makes $1 million, he gets 250,000 without doing anything. And he agrees to it because Griselda has bigger plans than $15 million. After hearing that Rafi is saying he's going to take over Miami, Griselda comes up with a plan. Bring together all of the drug dealers in Miami and let's start us a coalition, a union, and go against Rafi. Let's not buy anything from him. That way he'll have to partner with us. And it'll be an equal ownership to everyone in the city. It's just Griselda, since she's the one that came up with the idea, she'll be running it. Now, a lot of these dealers, they're hearing this and it sounds good, but they don't want Griselda to be in charge because they'll feel like they're working for her and it won't really be a partnership. So everyone in here in the meeting, they turn her down. After the meeting, Griselda goes over to Reeve. Now, Reeve is the right-hand man that does all the talking for Amilcar, but he couldn't show up to the meeting because he's allegedly wanted for a murder. So right now the block is hot. He couldn't show up. But she's telling Reeve, let me go talk to him and I can convince him. Now, Reeve, he's kind of mysterious and he's very meticulous of how he likes his stuff. So he's not doing too much talking with her, but he does agree to take her to go talk to the Amilcar. Now, when they get there, Griselda has a good proposition. She's telling them, listen, Rafi and them are trying to take over Miami. But if they do that, then that could potentially cut us all out and we could make a lot of money out here. Long story short, Amilcar is listening to it and he really doesn't want anything to do with it because he still has Papo. Now, Papo has territory, he has territory, so he's comfortable with how he's living. Now, what Griselda does and tells him is, listen, I know you're wanted for a murder. I'm hearing that there's a witness. The witness is the guy that June talked to who gave the name El Loco. She says, what if I take out the witness for you, then you and we come together and we make this deal work and we go talk to Rafi. Now, Amilcar is hearing this and he agrees because he needs to duck the law. And the best way to do it is have someone else get rid of the witness. Griselda goes home and tells Dario the plan. Listen, we got Amilcar on our side. We just got to take somebody out. Now, he's bringing up, he caught a body at 14. This is something that he has to live with. Griselda, you don't know anything about it. So he's having second thoughts about it, but he understands that this is what Griselda wants and this is what needs to happen. This is the only way that they're going to be able to progress, because if not, everything will come crumbling down. Plus, they already turned down the $15 million offer of a buyout. So she tells Dario, I need you to do this and take Chucho with you and eliminate this witness. When Dario and Chucho get there, well, they find the witness, but they also find his wife and a baby. So this isn't what they came over here to do. They give a call back to Griselda and they tell her, we got the witness. It's about to go down, but his wife and kid is here. What do you want us to do? Now, Griselda, she's a little nervous because this isn't what she had planned either. And just like he told her on the bed, catching these bodies is a little different. But she gives them the go ahead and they take out the husband, which is the witness, and his wife. When June shows up on the scene, they need her expertise because the husband is dead, the wife is gone, well, they left the baby. So it's up to her to take control of the baby until Child Protective Services shows up. But they're looking at these bodies and they're wondering, how is all of this connected? What is going on? Because he was going to give up the information on the Amilcar and they weren't going to give him protection until he testified. So they kind of got their witness killed. With the witness out the way, Griselda and the Amilcar, they go meet up with Rafi. Now, the only way that this plan is going to work is if Rafi hooks them up and Griselda has to fall back and let Amilcar be in charge, because we seen that the men weren't going to take any answers from her. So he told her at the meeting before she went to go get the witness, if we do this in public, I'm in charge. But behind the scene, it's equal opportunity for both of us. Now, Rafi agrees to this deal because they got all of the dealers in Miami together. So everyone will be copying from Rafi. And it looks like business is business. Griselda is a little excited, so she gets up to go to the bathroom. But when she does, Reeve is sitting here, and Reeve asks her a couple of questions. What's up? You good? If you ever need help, let me know. Now, he's hinting at what's to come in the future. But right now, Griselda doesn't understand what he means, because he is the right-hand man to the Amilcar. He is the guy that does all the speaking. And right now, he's telling Griselda, hey, look me up if you ever need me. If you ever need any help, just let me know, because remember, he knows how the Amilcar's operation is ran. Now, June ended up running the prints on the car again that the witness said they put their hands on the hood. Turned out the fingerprints match with Amilcar. So Amilcar has a warrant out for him. We get introduced to a new character, Detective Diaz, and he invites June. Hey, listen, you did a good job. Why are you getting out of homicide? Where are you going now? He's like, we're opening up us a little task force, Syntax. And, it would be kind of nice. But they got a warrant for the Amilcar, and he says, listen, do you want to go on this last ride and go put the handcuffs on the guy that you found? Because she did do the fingerprints. She was the only one that redid any instigation. June and Diaz go to serve that warrant. and they try to pull over Reeve. Well, Reeve ain't going for it. He reverses the car because they blocked him in. He hops out with the Mac 10 and he gets to shooting. Now, it was a little different for the Mill car. They ended up chasing him down and arresting him. Now, Reeve, he ended up getting away because when he was shooting back, the police didn't even try to pursue him. They seen that gun and said, yeah, it's over with. He's gone. Suspect gone. Griselda takes all of the girls and they go to Mutiny. Now, they're going out to celebrate because they just got Miami locked. Everything is good. But when she gets there, they find out that Amilcar is already arrested. He's arrested for that murder. So she basically killed the witness for no reason. And when she gets here, Papo's talking a little trash because he took over everything that Amilcar had once he got arrested. So when she goes in and talks to Rafi, he's basically like, you know what? We got everybody. We're going to go ahead and cut you out, Griselda. Thank you for your cooperation, but we no longer need you. And she didn't take that 15 mil. So for her, this is a very, very, very bad look. They made it to the mountaintop just to fall all the way down in the avalanche. June just arrested a Mill car. It's looking up. Syntac is about to get a lot of media publicity for this. And it looks like they're about to start cleaning up the streets. But Diaz is talking to her and he's saying, listen, I know you don't want anything to do with homicide. But since you just got this body, you just caught a Mill car, why don't you join Syntac and we make this thing work? You know what I mean? You and me, all of our resources, we can really take over this whole city of Miami and get things back on the right path. Now she hears this, she thinks about it for a second, and then she agrees to become part of Syntac. All right, there you go, to recap for episode 3. Do you think that was a good move for Griselda to take out the witness? In hindsight, not knowing that the deal was eventually going to go bad for her. And if you were Griselda, would you have took the $15 million buyout, or would you have declined it like her for bigger plans? Let me know what you think. I'm MoeDotJ. If you like this kind of content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tune in tomorrow for episode 4, Griselda, the Netflix series. Thanks for watching. I'm out.